Hello everyone, welcome to day 2 of Alaska Geek. So today we're going to be talking about how to get to Alaska, making some plans and kind of laying out the next little bit, which should be a lot of fun. Let's get to it, shall we? So, part 1 of any planning session should be eating food. So step 1 is making some food. So with the magic of video editing, we now have a pot, and a pan, and a spatula, and the cup is still there. The cup has not disappeared yet. We're going to be putting some water in that pot for some pasta, and we're going to be putting some oil in the pan for heating up something to put on top of the pasta. Here it goes. Alright, so we have here some water heating up, some oil. I just turned it on low so that it would start warming, but not get super hot before we could get anything. And we have the most beautiful starter of all starters, an onion. So we're going to cut that bit off. And then we're going to cut it some more. And then we're going to cut it lots more. Just like that. With the power of video editing. We also managed to get our knife up there. So we're going to take these, put them in there. Just like so. If I can do that without dropping it or my phone. Then we note that our water over here has started to boil. So we're going to go ahead and turn this onto medium. And then we're going to come right up here and grab the pastas. And ignore the jars of stuff. So we're going to come back over here, and for that much water it looks like we could do 1 handful, 2 handfuls, 3 handfuls, 4 handfuls, 5 handfuls, about 6 handfuls to that amount of water. And then we're going to pick the lid back up because it fell. And we're going to go ahead and put those back away. It's important when cooking to put things back away, because if you don't put things back away, then you could definitely have problems. So then we're going to let those cook, let the pasta cook, and we are going to be adding to this some other stuff, such as broccoli, which has magically appeared on our cutting board, and we're going to add that right in there. Just like so. And then we're going to give it a good little stirring around. So for saucing, I tend to use kind of whatever I've got on hand. So like the Italian seasoning here, or the dressing, Italian dressing, you can use it if you've got it. If you don't got it, use something else. But I kind of like the flavour of that. Got some Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, onion, egg. That's going to be going in a bit later. We've still got this cooking here. It's kind of just sizzling around a bit. And we're basically waiting until the onions are caramelised before we do anything else. But I am going to add a bit of water, because that will help steam the broccoli rather than fry the broccoli. And look at this. We've got some water right here. And you can just hear that sizzle a little bit, and that'll help the broccoli be more broccoli-y rather than burnt. So the onions got steamed with the broccoli, but that's not going to be an issue. And we have here our noodles are now done, so we're going to go ahead and drain those just like that, and also turn them off because I just realized that I didn't do that. Gonna add a little bit of olive oil from up here. Man, that lighting is super bad. Oh, that made it worse. Ah, bad lighting. Haha. Hey, suddenly you can see. So we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to those now that they're done, just to keep them from sticking together too much. I did leave a little bit of water in there. That's because I'm going to make some thicker sauce, and I don't want it to be too much of a problem removing it from the heat. And here we are going to add the Italian seasoning, the black pepper, the salt, the Worcestershire sauce. We're not going to add an egg yet. We're going to add some Italian style herb seasoning and some garlic. And we're going to put that all in there, just like. So now that all that's in there, we're going to then take our spatula and we're going to give that a nice little stir and move the handle of the pan back and forth with our stirring, so that way, you know, it can get its exercise in as well. And then we're going to add a bit more water and wait for it to get back bubbly like that. And we're going to add a bit of flour to that so that it will be nice and thick for our sauce. Alright, so I added the more water. Was about to add the more flour, and I was like, hey, you know what we could do? We could actually mix the flour with the egg and add them at the same time so that the flour doesn't clump and so that the egg doesn't just instantly burn. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to mix those in a bowl that's going to appear right up there. And so then we're going to add that, which just appeared, to that. But we're going to have to figure out how to do that one-handed because, you know, holding the phone and all that. So we're just going to sort of dump that in. And then we're going to say, hey Jessica, do you mind scraping that in? And a wild Jessica appears. It's my sister.
Hi.
And then we're going to stir that in. And actually we can use that to get the rest of that bit. I'm going to stir that in, and that's going to become really thick really fast because it's got the egg in there that gets thick pretty quickly, and then it's got the flour in there that also gets thick, so it's going to get really thick with like 3Cs. That's how thick it is, 3C thick, sort of thick. But you can see there it's kind of like went from being this liquidy bubbly stuff to kind of a glomsh, if you would. So at that point I'm actually going to add the rest of my water here because I'm not drinking it anyway, and we'll just keep mixing that until it gets a little bit non-glumpshy, and then it's all done. And so here we are, eating our meal fit for the gods, although probably not the Greek gods because, you know, they probably wouldn't be eating pasta. That is some top tier pasta, if I say so myself. But anyway, plans for Alaska. Step 2. Because step 1, eat something. Step 2, make plans. Oh, it's the easy 2-step process. Now coming from Caleb. So what you do is you decide which one of the 3 things I mentioned you want to do. You want to move there, you want to do a road trip, or you want to fly. Now, of the 3, flying's the easiest. It's also probably the safest, and is also probably the shortest as far as getting there, getting back. Also usually as far as time spent there. So yeah, flying, it's quick, it's easy. What you do is you go online, you look at an airline ticket, you buy it. Done. There is a bit more to it than just simply buying a ticket, but airlines is by far the easiest way to go. So as far as a road trip, the things you want to do is you just want to make sure that, one, you have some experience driving on snow. It's not to say that you'll have to drive on snow, but there's a good chance that there'll be snow at some point, and so you want some experience driving on snow. I'd recommend some either all-weather that can do snow or some specifically winter tires if you're driving up during the winter. And the biggest thing would be just planning where you're going to be stopping for gas, because there's a lot of gas stations in Canada for sure, but there's also a lot of gas stations that aren't open all the time, and so it makes it really difficult to then get gas if the gas station is closed. So you just want to check where the 24-hour gas stations are, where the seasonal gas stations are. As for when I'm going up, I'm going to be moving, so that's the third option there. I'm going to be moving in March, and I'm going to be going up the east axis versus the west axis. West axis over in Washington. It's a lot more beautiful, a lot more mountains, also a lot further away from where I'm at. It would add about another half a day or two onto my trip. So I'm just going to go up through Montana. I did also make like a list of places that I want to stop, so that this is also a good thing to do, because you know you got this opportunity. So we're going to be going to the wood carvings in Chetwood, and then we're also going to be stopping at the Stone Sheep near Summit Lake. There's also the Signpost Forest at Watson Lake. We've got Laird Hot Springs, which is at Laird Hot Springs. And then we've got a home in Fairbanks, which is great. Gas is going to be going up the east axis, Montana before hitting the border. Should then make it probably to either get gas in Lethbridge, and then just after Calgary, like in Red Deer, or just go straight to Calgary and then get it somewhere in the area of Edmonton. Red Deer is south of Edmonton. You can get it at like Whitecourt, is just up past Edmonton. Then from there you're gonna go Dawson Creek, Fort Nelson, Watson Lake, then probably Whitehorse, and then Haines, and then over the border to Turk. The longest stretch on there is going to be 250 miles, which my car can do just fine. If your car is going to have problems with that, I'd recommend getting gas probably at Beaver Creek. And that's how you plan a trip. Like, you just sit down and you're like, hey, these are the gas stations. That's how it goes. It's actually not as scary as people to make it think. I've done it a couple times and never really had any problems. I mean, there was one time I ran out of gas outside of Tok, and that was because I had a car that didn't have the range that was pulling a trailer, so it had even less range, and you know, it's what happens. And there was a really nice guy that stopped and gave us gas. You know, people take care of each other in Alaska as well. So like, if you're stopped on the side of the road because you have a pumps, you might wait a while for somebody to come by, but usually if somebody comes by, they'll stop if there's a car on the side of the road. So it's pretty cool that way. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. It's been fantastic making these videos so far, and the views that I got on yesterday's video, it's fantastic. Y'all are great. If you have any requests, the pasta in the first half of this video was as a special request to my sister, and it was actually a load of fun. So if you have anything you'd like to see me do on video, let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to respect as many requests as I can while I can. So yeah, anyway, I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.